I think your voice also, I mean, you've also settled. So, yeah, I told you we are going to break down how we can add up all the things that we have looked at and we start to analyze the market. Now, the
Mm,
first thing that I normally do before even anything is to know the account size I'm trading. Now, I know this may be far-fetched, but I don't know if you got the funded account done as about last time. But even though you haven't, the first thing,
not yet.
okay, the first thing I do is to know what's my risk for that day because it settles me. Every time I come to the market, I can lose that money. Not because the setup is wrong, but because I want to
Mm,
put myself at a rest. Yeah. I normally trade with
mm,
money that I know I'm not on high demand for. Because every time you put yourself, the trades that we take have emotions attached to them because it's money that we are playing around with. So most times it's better to
mm,
touch your stop loss a little bit so that you can make some profit without a lot of pressure. So also me mute.
yeah.
Now, of course, we get the way how we trade, we get the lot size from babypips.com, or you can as well from the babypips.
Come again?
I'll just show you the tool. Now we get our lot sizing from the babypips calculator. I still use it. And those days they used to only have a few pairs, but I see now they've added all the pairs that you may think of. I don't know if gold is there, but you can see this is a powerful tool.
Mm,
It helps you calculate the account size. So if your account size is $1,000, you put it there. And of course, 1,000, you're going to risk
mm,
a 1 to 3%. Then
yes.
my stop loss is 10, 15 pips, so I put 15. It depends on the setup that I've put. And of course, if it's GBPUSD, I
Mm,
come here and change this to GBPUSD.
mm,
Then I calculate. Now it shows me the lot sizes to use and how much I can lose per trade. Now you can see that when I hit a stop loss and I've entered a lot size of 0.2, I'm going to lose $30 per position. Yeah, I'm going to lose $30. If I'm risking 3% of the account, stop loss.
Come again? That
If
is,
I'm risking
yeah.
3% with a stop loss of 15 pips, I can lose $30 if the stop loss is big. But if I'm aiming for a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, which is always the case, I'll be targeting
Mm,
in 15 pips or 10 pips for 50 pips and more than this. So if it's a 1 to 2, I
mm,
make $6 per position. And and 0 to 3, I calculate that is $90 per position. To lose, of course, I'm risking $30 per position to make
mm,
$60 or $90 or more than that. So you can see a 1 to 2 is to reward
mm,
ratio. Now, this doesn't account
mm,
for trades that have hit break even, because at break even, your stop loss is, once it moves to your
mm,
stop loss to break even, most times that you're running a trade that is risk free.
mm,
But again, the bad habits that
mm,
we face as traders is we move stop loss very fast because you want to lock in profits very fast. Yet
mm, yeah, yeah.
the market is not going, at times, most of the times, it's not going to just drop into your favor. No, just to fast play around because at times you may be
Mm,
in a reversal trade, which may be a low probability setup, or you may be trading with the trend. We are supposed to account for all those things. So
mm,
sometimes I come to the market and I know I can lose this amount of money at the end of the day. But if I get a very good position, I can make more than what I'm willing to risk. And if I
mm,
have a good risk to reward ratio on all my trades. If I out of 10 trades, if I win 6 to 7 trades, it's good for me. And even though I win 5 trades, it's still good. And I
mm,
lose five, I'm still in profit. So these are all the things that you
mm,
have to account for. Now, they may not be the same as you. You're supposed to build a strategy around
yes.
yourself, not because of me or Emma showed me that. No, you have to build it with the resources that you have
Mm,
currently and see to it that you're able to maximize it. And that's the reason why I always tell people that, yes, I'm teaching you this, but you can change it so that it works for you. It's not a must that, hey,
What fits you? Yeah.
yeah. So if my risking is too much for you, you can drop it off. But and most times I discard I want people to learn very fast and they stop using 0.011 position because there it's going to take you a longer time to make money. And if I find
Mm,
someone is using
mm,
such a lot size, it's better I tell them go for a funded account. Because there you're going to play around with rules.
yes, yeah.
And if you play around with the rules and your trading is getting good, you have a chance of making more money. Because I saw myself also
Mm,
use that direction. Yeah. Because at some point
mm,
I have $10, but I had to go use the route of funded accounts to get the first payout, which was 500. You can see how the growth is.
mm.
So I started
Yeah, that's good.
lot size, and once I know the lot, I'm not going to start guessing. You know, some people guess of the lot sizes to use. They don't even know what lot size. They just come and say, okay, this account, I think I can use this, which is really bad. And this
Mm,
baby pips, it gives you all, I don't know, I think gold is not here. Gold is not here, but there are different apps that can,
I think they don't have metals.
yeah, they don't have metals. Now, there are other apps
Mm,
that can give you the proper calculation. I have an app on all my phones that gives me a lot size calculation with gold, but I don't trade gold. They also give me for Bitcoin because I trade Bitcoin, yeah, at times.
mm,
That's the first thing that I want to do. The second thing is, of course, Forex Factory. I don't know if I should go deep into that, but Forex Factory is another place you should check immediately. Start trading. Because whether you're trading a funded account, so whether you're trading a funded account,
mm,
you're going to need Forex Factory,
mm.
you know? Because
For news.
yeah, for news, because there are some funded accounts that don't allow trading news. So you're supposed to see. On Marvin Trading, they don't allow trading news 2 minutes, 2 or 2 minutes after. You're supposed to look at all those things. So you start by identifying the times where the news are going to be. You ask
Mm,
if it's so difficult, put the alarm on your phone to know that okay, I'm expecting news at this time. You remember, yeah. Because at times you be at work,
yeah,
a lot on your mind, you may forget these things.
yeah,
So it's better to do that.
yeah, yeah.
So all these things that I'm telling you should add up to your trading plan. My internet is being sluggish. I don't normally like slow internet, but yeah, that's the rule. Now, when I
Mm.
go to the
You
charts,
can go with that. No problem.
I can't even click, man. I've been doing a lot today on my computer because by the way, I'm still studying, so
Mm.
I still go to campus. Now I had to install virtual machines and stuff like that. So I've been on
Oh,
someone, I went to camp. People didn't believe, but I went and I'm almost done. And at some point I wasn't studying, but I told them
what are you doing? What are
doing,
you doing?
doing software engineering.
Oh,
But
that's
I'm
good.
just have to add the books.
It kind, it, it kind of matches to what you're doing now.
Yeah, IT matches completely. And it's much
Mm,
for me. I don't go to campus to study.
mm,
I study online, but it works. So the first thing that I want to
yeah.
do after getting all those things, I've planned my trade, I've planned my day, I've seen there is no news. The first thing that I want to,
Mm,
of course, the other things I check, Watchaguru, because nowadays Trump is doing a lot of nonsense. I check Watchaguru.
mm,
Watchaguru is a site on X, so they always post about
mm,
the current news in the markets and stuff like that. So I also check that. Now, the first thing that I want to do, at times I don't even need to go to the daily time frame. The appearance of the chart
mm,
describes how the market is moving. The market has been bullish for months now. And this bullishness of today was because the US said something. The US is going to put 50% tariffs on the European Union. So that is Europe and the British pound. The British pound has started to gain value because
mm,
negative, you get. So,
mm,
of course, it's okay for Bitcoin dropped largely, but GBP had to go up and it's still shooting. So generally, if you look at the market like this, you can see that we have been in an uptrend since January. Since January. So
Mm.
the things
Yeah.
still work. These are the swing trades you're supposed to be looking at. Don't go against the trend if you're a swing trader. No, don't. Now, for a short-term trader, you know that
Mm.
sales, look at all this part on the daily. Sales haven't been doing a lot,
Mm.
but it's not of your right since you're an intraday trader like me. I don't need to know what's on the daily,
Mm.
not so much, but I can use it to say that, okay,
Mm.
how the chart has been moving. What's new? You get the uptrend has been on for months. In fact, since 2022,
Mm.
had a slight retracement because of the elections, but the continuation is still taking.
Mm.
So you look at all that. I can even zoom out because you want to see exactly
Mm.
how the market has been performing. You get
Mm.
this side. Some people even come to the weekly time frame. They go to the monthly time frame, but that is far-fetched. Unless now the fact that I've not been on the chart for some time, I want to create a storyline of the whole market. Because it helps me. I create a
Mm.
story for the whole market. And with that, I begin to look at a new perspective of the market. I let go of all the analysis I've done in the previous weeks, and I'm now starting to stabilize. So after seeing
Start
such
fresh. Mm.
a, and I've compared on the GBP, maybe there's this trend line there, which is a very big trend line. Now that is the
Mm.
that I'm trying to build. And it's what I always try to do first. That's on the weekly time frame. I've seen something that other people are not
Mm.
looking at. I've been able to establish
Mm.
this. So I don't want to be caught off guard. A downtrend can begin because of a trend line bounce. I want to be there when it.
Mm.
So I've established the timeline
Mm.
for that. That's the only thing
Mm.
on bigger time frames. Now, before even I go to the 4 hour, since I'm trading GBPSD, I look at the index, which is the
Mm.
DXY, to give me a timeline. Also on that same time frame, a bigger timeline of what's happening. So I'm going to clear the trend.
Mm.
I'm doing analysis by the way for Monday. So
Mm.
I want to also create a timeline for the DXY and know its general performance. And I'm seeing here the market moved up. This is the weekly time frame, and starting to fall it,
Mm.
you know. And at some point, we're going to
Mm.
there are some tools that you shall learn to use where, like harmonics, where you can just look at the overall chart and you see some structure.
Mm.
Now, these things are good with elite
Mm.
traders. Some of these tools, elite wave traders use waves. So then they can know that, okay, I had a wave one here, then a wave two, then a wave three can be the longest, then a wave four, a wave five. I know how those things work,
Mm.
but I generally use them. Yeah. So after I
Mm.
start such a there are things like harmonics where there are patterns like harmonics. So I can say XA, then a B, or it comes to the 61.8 area, C, then a D.
Mm.
Here it passes through, like something like this, then
Mm.
bullish market. All those things, we shall look at them, but I don't use them that much. They just help present
Mm.
timeline that I need to use in the current market. Now, I've seen a harmonic presenting itself. I've not measured it that well, but I've measured from XA, which has given me a B, you know? So I'll just try to finish it
Mm.
since I've seen it, because this is exactly how I analyze. I take time when I'm planning for the next week. I take a lot of time because I want to tell the market. I want to tell the story of why is the market doing that? Why? At times I do it daily.
Mm.
Yeah, you can see that this is a harmonic. It's going down somewhere. And that's what the weekly time frame is printing. So I may not waste a lot of time on the daily because I don't want to get confused. Now, I do all this when I'm trying to break down the
Mm.
market. So I don't want to get confused. At times I write it down and stuff like that. I write it down and pin it somewhere. I have sticker notes here around me. So times I pin it up somewhere, but I don't go to many time frames to confuse me. I can skip the weekly and I go to the 4 hour time. I can skip the daily and I come back to the 4 time frame, I've already presented a timeline that, okay, sales may likely continue for some time, but this market doesn't fall forever. It has to face retracements.
mm,
So I
yeah,
start connection of the DXY, and I don't take the DXY to the 15-minute time frame. I rarely do that. I stop it on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, because the DXY
mm,
gives us the value of the dollar, which happens to be the reserve currency of the world currently. So you can see that
mm,
the market is in a very solid downtrend. It has been for weeks, but you
mm,
can see the market has some retracements, you know. So you have to identify
yeah,
the position you're in that market. So this was the retracement. We hope so. And we believe that it hasn't
mm,
broken structure to change trend. Okay. No break of structure,
mm,
the 4 time frame. So the market went here as a retracement, and we may be looking for it to continue with its voyage to the downside. Very possible move right there. Sorry, I've zoomed out a lot, but it's what I always do. So
nice.
at
Okay.
times I can draw the trend lines to move with the market because I'm seeing here market changes positions from downtrend, from uptrend to downtrend. So I can take this point, mark out point B, and stretch it out. And you can see here we got a point C, yeah, which was supposed to
Mm,
be the change. So this is what I'm looking for basically. You can see my chart is still clean, of course, without the
mm,
psychology, but you can see that I'm trying to establish connection. So this is a tool that I'll show you how it works. I'll show you how this tool works with time. And I'm not going to talk about it today. Yeah. But this tool helps us identify
mm,
levels where the market is likely to return to or to bounce off of.
mm,
I'll talk about it next week. So this is the timeline that I'm
okay.
given. So that tool also helps me find points where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be selling to a support. I'm supposed to sell after support. And I'm not supposed to be buying next to a resistance. No, I'm supposed to buy after that resistance. So that rule helps me
Mm,
trade with the trend. Trade with the trend. Once you're able to trade with the trend, you ignore these
mm,
other setups of I'm buying here, then selling here. Those things may take you a longer time to understand. But if you firstly settle on
mm,
trading with the trend, you filter the number of trades.
mm,
Like they become few because you only be looking in one direction. If I'm selling, I'm looking for a discount price,
mm,
meaning I don't want to start buying here to the discount price. No,
okay.
I want the market to come back to a discount area and go down, and I'll be selling from here. And this is
Mm,
where tools like this come in. They come in to support my sell bias. You can see that. Now,
mm,
longer post setups that much because I used to break them down so that everyone understands. But people started to take advantage of my free will, and I was like, let me just stop doing that. But I think, I don't know, time will tell. So now I
mm,
decide to trade quietly and stuff like that. Now, one hour
mm,
time frame, I don't do much to, and I stop analyzing the day 1 hour time frame. Because I'm not looking for entries. No, I'm not looking for entries. I'm just looking for the direction of the market. So if here the market changed and now it's starting to slope down, I don't look for buys. No, I look for sells too. This is on the DXY. I look for
mm,
indicate more sells. And I go with that same bias to bigger time frames. Though of course you can do counter trend lines on the DXY, but it doesn't really make sense to me because you're not looking trend the DXY that much. Yeah, so it's better
mm,
to just identify points where the market is likely to return back to for it to continue with the sell bias and also to be able to break down structure. Because here you can have maybe changing trade. You can have this tool will identify order blocks. You see this order block that I've pulled out? So if
mm,
you've got one here, you can see it here going, continuing. And if you turn it off, it comes back. So identify points where the markets can return to, and then you continue buying GBPSD. You get continue
mm,
buying GBPSD. So what I expect in this market, I expect it to give us a pullback
A retracement.
Yeah, retracement. Even the retracement can even break this point. Because if we come back up here, we can have a slight retracement to such areas before a continued move. So I expect a retracement. It's possible. Yeah, it's very possible. And I don't want to talk about this too, but yeah, a retracement is very possible. So I go with this same bias. The DXY is still showing us more sales, but anything can happen, you know. It's still showing us muscles. Anything can happen. The market doesn't just
Mm,
drop one line. So I get the aspect
mm,
of the XY. I got back to GBPSD. And at times if GBPSD is not, if the DXY is not making it easy for you to analyze, then analyze your USD
mm,
because they're the same. Only that,
mm. Yes.
yeah. So now this is how, then I come back here, of course, and I start to break down how I'm going to find my next setup. Currently, the market is bullish. For me to identify a buy, I'm going to
Mm,
wait for a retracement. If I'm to buy, this is the daily time frame. Don't forget, this time frame is
mm,
so it can give us a sell. So I'm saying this is an uptrend. Very possible. I don't want to waste so much time on analyzing the daily. Come to the 5 time frame for the main trend. Now, this is where I begin the solid breakdown of the trend and everything. So main trend is an uptrend. Trend lines are saying it. Everything looks clear. Draw out your trend lines. This is the main trend line, which is a solid uptrend. Main trend line is solid uptrend. Um, at some point, some traders put channels there, but me, this is a very big time frame for a channel. It won't really make sense for me. Okay. I don't want to keep my chart disorganized, so I'll basically not put anything there. Channels maybe 1 hour
okay.
time frame. Yeah. So right now that's the main trend. Uptrend is the main trend, but remember the market doesn't move in a straight line. There has to be a retracement. Now GE's movement hasn't been steady, but there are things that you can easily identify. The market went up, entered the consolidation, and in that consolidation, we always have patterns which are rectangle patterns. And if you Google the rectangle pattern,
Mm,
every time there's a rectangle pattern, the market tends to break to
mm,
continue. It's a continuation pattern. So these are the things you have to
mm,
consider too while you're trading. And I told you last time about it. You see this movement here, the consolidation at times, you have to. Now,
mm,
one thing that you want to also do is don't uh, say just because it's a continuation, it's going to continue. No. Sample wait for the breakout. And that's the reason why we do I mean confluence trading. If you don't have more reasons as to why you
mm,
want to buy something, don't do it. Don't buy just because you feel it's great. Don't buy just because it has bounced off
mm,
its psychological level. No. Add more reasons as to why. It holds more water, you know. And if we keep doing
mm,
this over and over again, it begins to make sense. Every strategy works. You have to just know the loopholes and what works for you. So I'm seeing an opportunity for a
mm,
constant trend line, but I'm not going to do it on the 4 time frame. I'm going to do it on the 1 hour time frame. Why? Because the 1 hour is going to give me more better points to mark out from. You see? Yeah, the market was
wait for a trend line break.
yeah. Yeah, the market was moving upward, entered. It had a series of trends, uptrend, consolidation, continuation of uptrend. So I can draw a trend line from maybe here and take in this point and continue with it. You get, but it wouldn't make sense. Even this trend line doesn't make sense, this one here, because it's far from the market, it's far from the chart. But times you want to just leave it there just in case you're caught off unaware by news or something like that. But one thing I want you to consider,
Mm,
I want you to look at this. The market moved from here to up here in 10 days. Can it reduce the 10 days in just one move? It's very possible. You can see,
no.
yeah, you can see
Mm,
what it did here. So at times you have to leave those trend lines there. So this trend line, I would leave it there, but I would At times I'll just leave it somewhere,
mm,
leave it in full. Yeah, it's possible. Most traders leave it in full. So I have an opportunity of drawing another counter trend line or minor trend line from here, taking in the new trend, which is a change from this.
mm,
I'll draw one running like that. Doesn't really make sense too, but I'll put it there. Now the market is very stiff. You're going to get another trend line on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. You may get another one like this from somewhere. That makes it very difficult for you to trade, and you're going to start forcing it. Yeah. So most times you have to just leave the trend lines first. At least you've drawn out the major ones. You can get one maybe from here running
mm,
by zooming in your chart, something like this. Because the way we draw trend lines
mm,
is we change them from trends. We get them from the trend that was happening before, and we get the new trend. So the way we draw them is, yes,
mm,
this is a general uptrend, but I want you to see the number of trends that are in the trends. You have this uptrend from here to here, then a movement, then a new trend from here. So all those things you're supposed to consider.
mm,
Here we had the move to the upside, then a push back to the downside. So that new, remember you're in the 15-minute time frame. You may begin a new trend on off of the 15-minute time frame, which is this week, and it can go with you to the upside. And that's the one you would wait for it to break and give you a solid quick sell to downside, which is
mm,
low probability setup. You get that's the low probability setup that we're looking
mm,
at. It's going opposite of the trend, but it has an opportunity to give us a retracement to areas that are not so far. And if you can calculate
mm,
from if it breaks and reaches here, you can get some 50 pips here. You can get the 50 pips that you're looking.
mm,
So all those things are the ones we consider. If this thing consolidates on Monday, remember it's approaching a key zone, so we may enter a small consolidation unless it breaks it aggressively.
mm, mm,
It's still the market is still so aggressive, you can see, but it's not as aggressive as how it was here. You can see that on the daily, it's already printed. It was so aggressive here, then aggressive here.
mm,
Yeah, so we consider those things. Wait to see. It's not a must that this zone will be respected. No, it's not a must. Who told you that,
mm.
that the trend
But
line? We have to
I, I
wait.
think you'll have to wait for the reaction.
Yeah, the market has to move. Then as we have to only do, we have to just react. So I've not talked
Mm,
about the other things, psychological levels, all those things, but I just wanted to show you how I break down the market. So it
mm, that's good.
because of the market condition, but there are things that you have to move out. You have to break down. For example, if the market was trending around here and it starts to move like this, of course you would have a counter trend line. But always remember, those are short-term movements. And in those movements,
Mm,
find chart patterns in there. And such chart patterns help you
mm,
determine the direction of the trend. You get these triangles, what they all do that. So it's supposed to be,
mm,
you won't find this triangle bouncing there and going back down. No, it will continue. So you're supposed to zoom out, do a keen eye. Most people won't get this setup because they're
mm,
looking for cells, you know, because of its trend line. But if you zoom out, you find out that we are in we are in a triangle pattern. So you trade with it. We're running out of time. We have 9 minutes.
mm.
So I want you to ask a question. I think we shall add the other tools next time. 9 minutes to the end of the Zoom call.
No, no. Thank you for this information because I had a problem with drawing trend lines.
We shall keep,
But I think this one was useful.
just get a strategy of drawing trend lines that works for you because they are very,
Mm. Yeah,
and
and this one, I,
watch a bunch of videos. Me, I used to watch Jeffrey Benson.
mm,
I used to watch Tory Trades.
Yes.
Tory Trades uses.
Mm. Tor-
He's very good at trend line. Let me go to YouTube.
Mm.
Tory Trades. Just let me let it load.
Okay.
Oh,
I think you
so
have many programs.
yeah, like I was running very huge. I have a good computer, but I know the internet. And I'm sure that's not
Mm.
running in pub because I've been running virtual machines, been running some funny.
Mm. So for that, I think you have to upgrade in future.
I have a good internet provider, but it's not 100%. You know, Uganda.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, just go and watch
Mm.
Great Threads. She's really
Yeah.
good.
Story trades. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sometimes see her.
Tory Trades, Jeffrey Bet. I
Mm.
learned trading from Jeffrey actually. No, I'm not going to lie.
Mm.
Jeffrey Benson and Happy. And people say trend lines don't work. Those are the best traders in Africa. They use trend line,
Mm.
you know. But
Mm.
we just be ranting on TikTok.
Ah,
And that's why I don't
people
speak
also.
on TikTok. Very useless decisions. Like everyone is talking. Everyone has the ability to post something.
Mm.
Very trades. This one. I've made for the announcement. She's good at what's this now?
But I know that girl. Don't worry.
Okay.
You search podcast.
Watch a bunch of videos. It enables you. It just makes you find your own. So
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
if there's any other question, I have 5 minutes.
And uh, you've shown me the tool of order blocks, and I know how to find supply zones, demand zones.
Yeah, we didn't look at those because I wanted us to just break down. Shall we go through them?